little bit, but I'm showing this because I think the unique opportunity in joining this program in whatever kind of way is that we are, of course, going out, seeing places. We are in architecture, so we, of course, see a lot of architecture and cultural sites too. We enjoy the landscape and so on and so forth, but you will also have the opportunity to be plugged into another campus from day one, to work with people who are from a different culture, not just as a visitor, but for those few weeks or few months that you will be visiting, you can join a completely different university in a different country with a completely different curriculum and approach. And you can really grow, I think, as a student or scholar into this new area around you. And I think this is a very, very unique opportunity that I am happy we could offer thanks to Craig Kuhner here originally. Little bit of background here on our side. It's not just me, of course. I want to also thank other colleagues who have over the years been active, professors from UTA teaching in Innsbruck or from Innsbruck teaching at UTA. Here I conducted an interview with Craig Kuhner 2 years ago, so he's still around. We organize a whole lot of events, usually about 1 to 2 every year, where we not just promote the partnership and the program, but where we really want to have topic-based discussions, usually around architecture and the built environment, where we invite guest speakers, panel discussions, where we talk about the opportunity of study abroad, but ultimately also talk about our profession in that case, of course, architecture and cities. We are excited to take this program in a variety of ways further. We discovered, logos, marketing strategies, now calling one of our study abroad initiatives the Austria Plus program. This is a summer program that usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks. Austria Plus, because you will not only visit Austria, but a variety of other countries close by that always change every year. So I took this initiative over in 2016. And our kind of initial event here at a gallery in Innsbruck was quite nice because we had a variety of faculty members participating and also a visiting faculty member from UT Arlington at the time. Here, Marina Tabassum, you can see her originally from Bangladesh. In 2017, we hosted the first group of exchange students in a while and also summer students. Of course, you need to take a lot of pictures when you travel to the mountains here. We also try to engage not just with the university, but we try to organize exhibitions. We try to give the students the opportunity to share their experience here in another local gallery where the students did short videos about their experience traveling through Europe, and visitors could come in and then they have discussions and share a little bit of their insight. In 2018, we did the first design build project. It's again open for anybody to participate. So we were asked by a local youth center actually to build a seating device for a park. We conducted this project within 7 days, quite amazing, I must say, good spirit. So students from UTA collaborated with students from Innsbruck. We first tried to hear what do they want, what do they need. The architecture students came up with a couple of designs, but we had other students involved too. And we kind of built this seating landscape on site here in this park. And ultimately, of course, had to test if it's very sturdy. And luckily it was. The age range of the people in the children in the youth center ranges from, I believe, 9 years to about 18 years. So it was quite interesting to work with university students, high school, middle school students from all kinds of different countries. And I'm happy that we were able to complete this project. In 2019, we had another group. We traveled through Europe and ultimately ended this trip in Innsbruck. So we were here, for instance, in Vienna at the east part of Austria, the capital city, at the United Nations headquarters, which I think was a fantastic tour. We went all the way up to the north to Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and Belgium, visited also some architecture office. Oh, that picture was there. But we also returned to Innsbruck and worked directly there. Students bring their laptop. So while we are traveling abroad, we also try to do some actual work and try to engage with the university. Again, not just as a visitor coming in or a tourist getting a tour, but plugging into the campus and becoming part of it at least for a couple of weeks. Back then, we also started a new partnership with the New Jersey Institute of Technology. And so we had people from Innsbruck, from UTA, and from NJIT together and hosted a panel discussion. It was quite fantastic. So we had two different groups of Americans together in Innsbruck. And that was a really, really nice event too. It was also the evening we celebrated the 30 year of partnership in Innsbruck. Now 2020, let's scratch that year, right? And let's just move to 2021. We kind of like closing the cycle right now. So within this year, we will have 2 exchange students coming in from Innsbruck to UTA in the fall. We currently have 1 visiting scholar here. And of course, I'm constantly involved in both universities. So 1 faculty member. And this is a little bit my personal goal and where I hope some of you students would like to participate and join in the future, that we could constantly maintain all of these 3 levels. So yes, students, please come on summer programs or exchange programs. But if you ultimately do a PhD, for instance, or a master thesis, and you're getting more involved into scholarly activity, please reach out to me too, because for scholars, we have a whole lot of funding opportunities in addition to what students would be offered. We're also constantly looking for faculty members who would like to be involved. This is not limited to architecture. This can be open to all of UTA. In the end, I wanted to show you 1 more video that we recorded a little bit from students from UTA when they were actually in Innsbruck. So I show you this last one, I think 2 minutes, and this is it for me.
Hello, my name is Anuja Pai, and I'm a 4th year architecture undergraduate student at the University of Texas at Arlington. I initially joined the Barcelona, Vienna, and Innsbruck study abroad because I've always studied about architects like Gaudi, Otto Wagner, and Zaha Hadid, and I really wanted to experience the spaces created by these individuals. And although I have, and I've seen all these wonderful designs, I'm going to be leaving with a lot more. I'm going to be leaving Innsbruck with a lot of memories, a lot of really fun experiences that I'm going to always hold close to my heart. I'm going to have met so many amazing people, and I'm going to have stories to tell all my friends for a very long time back home.
Hi, my name is Kieran Casares. I'm a 4th year entering undergraduate student at UT Arlington. When I really heard about the program, I was really intrigued because the program offers 3 great cities in Barcelona, Vienna, and Innsbruck. During this program, I really got to enjoy the architecture and as well as the culture and history that these great cities had to offer. In my opinion, what I enjoyed the most was the city of Innsbruck. I really liked the typological mountains that surrounded the city, the small scale factor, and also just the way people move around, walking with local transportation, and that everything is at the grasp of your hands. I am truly blessed to be a part of this 30-year part legacy that the University of Innsbruck and the University of Arlington have done in order to merge these 2 programs and make one true great experience.
Hello, my name is Melissa. I'm currently a student at the University of Texas at Arlington. I'm going into my 4th year of architecture, and I'm currently here for an exchange semester at the University of Innsbruck. What I really liked about my semester here in Innsbruck was that it called for a lot of independence for me with school, and it gave me a new perspective with architecture. Between the schools, Innsbruck definitely gave a new perspective on architecture, and they treat it way differently than they do back in Texas. So it was nice to get a new perspective on architecture and the way that we can deal with the environment.
Okay, I hope I didn't go too long, and I gladly take questions if there are any.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So This is a silly question, but it's what I'm genuinely interested in. So as a proud Austrian, do you prefer Austria in the winter with the snow, or in like the spring, summer with all the green?
Okay, my answer is clear here. A year ago, I would have said in the winter, okay? But due to COVID and everything that happened, I could stay in Austria a little bit longer last year, almost 8 months, conducting my work remotely. And so I feel like I discovered my country for a second time, being there at a time when I usually wasn't. Little bit of spring, summer, and then the fall. And all of a sudden, I was like, I could not choose a season anymore. And I feel like each season has something to offer. I love it when there is snow, don't get me wrong, but in the summer we can go swimming in the lake and you do all kinds of different things. You can hike to a lot more remote locations, which is also fantastic. So don't make me choose, Kelly, please.
No, I asked that because I was like, oftentimes like students are really excited about some of the more winter activities, particularly in Innsbruck, obviously, because that's sort of a huge part of that culture. But I also, like I said, having had students who have been able to go in summer and other times, or have said sort of like you said too, like don't underestimate sort of the like off season, the peak season. So
right. Let me add to this real quick, if I may. We had an exchange student who wanted to come because he loved snowboarding, and I told him, you better be careful, don't think you are an expert just because you did it once. He went for the very first time, fell, and had a really complicated, had to have really complicated surgery because he broke his arm. So it wasn't great. So everybody wants to go for the snow and skiing and snowboarding. I caution you, only do this if you know what you're doing.
The Alps are no joke.
Yeah.
Oswald, I was wondering, you obviously have a professional connection with Innsbruck, a very strong one. Is that where you grew up as well, in Innsbruck?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So that's home for you.
It is home, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. What? So obviously hiking and skiing. What were some other things that you really enjoy being able to do when you're in Innsbruck?
So I think we saw this a little bit in the students' statements. I think what is usually the most intriguing for students from the US when they come to Europe is how close everything is. The cities are fairly small, and I always say, I live in Arlington, and people always say, oh my God, you're from Europe. Why don't you live in Dallas or in Fort Worth? And I say, because I'm from Europe, and I'm not driving 30 minutes to work every day. Because in Innsbruck, it would take me 30 minutes to go either to Italy or to Germany. That's how close the border is. And I think how close things are, that you can hop on the bus, it takes you everywhere, public transportation is really good, or you can walk or ride the bicycle on a nice bike lane. I think this is really the most significant change. And then I also want to highlight, we have a really nice coffee house culture, and of course beer garden culture, not promoting beer for the alcohol, but the atmosphere of sitting under big trees and stuff like that, and having traditional food, heavy meat and dumpling like us mountain people do, is usually something the students really enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, speaking of the students, do any of their students here today have any questions for Oswald about Austria?
I do.
Go ahead, Brenda.
As much as the trip sounds wonderful, but how much is the average cost and flight to Australia?
Austria.
Austria.
A lot of people always say Australia, so no worries.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. We have shirts. Austrians often wear shirts where there's a kangaroo, and it's strike through and says, no kangaroos in Austria. People always say Australia. It's fine. So what we do is, you have to, of course, pay your tuition. That is however much you would pay at UTA. So that is kind of a separate thing, depends on each student, if you're graduate or undergraduate. And then the flights and accommodations and program fees, usually I try to keep them around $2,000 for the entire program. Sometimes 2,500, but that usually gets you a 3.5 week trip, including flight and accommodation and like entrance fees and stuff like that. So the food is always separate and the tuition is always separate.
Does the whole program fee also include books and supplies?
So we usually don't use much. The reading assignments I hand out, they're usually PDFs. So you could print them or read them from your digital device. You don't really have to buy anything. What we do ask for usually is that students bring a laptop. That would be helpful. If not, we plug into the University of Innsbruck and use computer labs. And that's all we need. So no other costs.
That's great. Oswald, do you want to put your email address there in the chat, just so if students have questions about the program specifically, they can reach out to you after today?
Of course.
Great. Anybody else have any questions about Austria? Marturza? I see somebody has their hand up there.
Maybe by accident.
Martuza, did you have a question? Okay. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in the chat, and then we'll give Oswald a chance to answer it later. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our next destination. Thank you so much, Oswald. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, always great to see Innsbruck highlighted, and absolutely beautiful part of the country there. So thank you for sharing that. Turn it over to Ahana Basmet, who is one of our students and a member of the Nepalese Student Association, and she's going to share some information with us about Nepal. Thank you for joining us today, Ahana. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Okay, let me just browse it. Okay, now let's go. Okay. Okay, so how do I do it? It's the big screen.
Yeah, that looks good.
Does it look good? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. So hello everyone. I am Ahana Basmet and I am from Nepal. And today I'm gonna tell you about Nepal. First of all, about me. I am an international student at UTA, and I am a senior civil engineering student at UTA, and I serve as a general secretary for NSA, Nepali Student Association at UTA. So we are very glad that we got an opportunity to share information about Nepal, since we don't have study abroad for Nepal, but NSA can be a bridge to connect between the study abroad between the UTA and from the Nepal. We have a different Nepalese professor teaching on the UTA as well. So we are very glad, and we can be a bridge to connect you all. So first of all, starting off with Nepal and Texas, since you can see on the map, like we are literally on the other side of the world. So I think that's something interesting. We have 12-hour differences. Like right now on the Nepal, it's 2 a.m. and 15 minutes, and it's already Tuesday over there. So you can see, so the Nepal is right here between India and China. So yes, Nepal has the very unique flag in the world as well. It's a small country. It's a small landlocked country situated between India and China. So, and the Nepalese student on UTA, we have like the large number of UTA students coming every year. And UTA is also like second out of the 718 colleges and university throughout the US. So we have like the highest number of Nepalese students coming to UTA. So, and I have also given a chart on the below where it's written the number of students on the different year, as you can see on the slide. So this Nepal, as I said, is a small landlocked country, is a sandwich between the India and China, two biggest country. And we have the area of 181 square kilometer, which is like 5 times smaller than Texas. So yes, Texas is like 5 times bigger than Nepal. It's small, but we have the various region in Nepal with a population of 29.7 million. And about Nepal and Nepalese community, we are small, but we have like one ethnic group in Nepal. So we are very diverse in ethnic group and religions. We have like 92 languages speaking currently in Nepal, but Nepali is the official language. And we also have English as a subject in our all the government and private sectors. So yes, English is also spoken by most of the Nepalese now. So because it has been like one of the important subject in the private and government schools, so you'll get English subject in every school and colleges. So every Nepalese, most of the Nepalese knows how to speak English. So as we know, Kathmandu is the capital of Nepal. And as I said, Nepal is small, but it's divided into three different regions. It's a Tarai. Tarai is like the plain region. And then we have the hilly region and then the Himalayas region. As I said, Nepal has diversity in religion and ethnicity and caste. So as Nepal, the uniqueness of Nepal is its flag. So we are only the country in the world that has like the flag with a triangular shape. On this, the red crimson color symbolizes the bravery in our country, and the blue line represents the peace. And these two peak, it determines the peak of our country since we have so many mountains in our country, which I'll explain in the other slide. So the major attraction is we know the world's highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest, and that's in Nepal. And among the top 10 highest mountain in Nepal, there are 7 mountains from the top 10 list is from Nepal, which is about like 8,000 feet meter. And also there are 14 mountains which is 8,000 meter above. So we have also 10 World Heritage Site which is listed by UNESCO from Nepal. So you can so we have like the various factors to come to Nepal and see since there are so many World Heritage and they are all from the like various ancient generations. So we have so many cultural things, architecture we can see from the previous generations, and also forest and wildlife. We have the home to the exotic animals. We have some different kind of animals since we have dense forest in Nepal. So we have like elephant, one-horned rhinoceros, the Royal Bengal tiger, leopard, wolf, and many other animals. We also have different kind of national park. Then if you go like there is a Chitwan National Park. I went on 2019, and then before the coronavirus, after my on the spring break, on the winter break. So and then I went to Chitwan National Park, and I was lucky to see one rhinoceros over there. It was fun. And yes, we saw a lot of elephants. So it's like a home to of various wildlife in Nepal. So you can explore that. We also have the unique spiny bladder bird, which you can see on the picture. It's the bird only you found in Nepal. Like we cannot find this bird in any part of the world, so it's only found in Nepal. So yes, Nepal has a diverse animals and birds. Which you can see only in Nepal. And also we have like the various kind of endangered animal in Nepal. So we have like 2 pangolin which is covered completely by scales, like we can see the pictures on the top, the tiger. It's like the endangered, and we have like 2 of those endangered animals in our country. Also like outdoor adventure, since we have the flowing rivers in our country, you can have the bungee jumping. One of the highest bungee jumping, which is on the 11th number in the world, is also in Nepal, the last resort bungee jumping, which is about 160 meters high. So you can have all the adventure in Nepal. We also have 6,000 rivers in Nepal, and you can see that there are so many rivers which are like more than 10 kilometers, and also we also have 24 of them which are more than 100 kilometers. So you can think the flowing river, they are huge and long. So Nepal is a popular choice for trekking mountains because trekking to the mountains because we have so many unique places you can really do go for a trekking. So it's really beautiful. And about the Nepalese food, we have the various food in our country. As I said, we have a lot of different people on the different region, and we have different kind of food in our country. So we have sel roti, gundruk, bara, chatamari, momo. You can see the picture on the bottom is the momo and the top is the dal bhat. If you ask any Nepali people like what's your favorite food, they'll give you a smile and tell, of course, dal bhat. Dal bhat is one of the most popular food which is eaten daily on the daily basis by all the native people. They cook at home every day. So we believe in cooking food at home a lot. And we also have a thakali food as a traditional food. We also have different kind of varieties of food which we cook according to the different kind of festivals. Like on we cook like tilko laddu for Maghe Sankranti. We have Yamari for Yamari Purnima. So we have since there are a lot of ethnicities, so we have a lot of festival and their own festival has their own kind of food. So you have so many things to explore in Nepal with their food, cultures, and everything. And then we have Nepalese dance. We have so many traditional dance, and it's separated. Thank you. Those dumpling is good. Yeah, thank you. You must try it. It's really good. So we also have many traditional dance, and it separates like according to the different regions. Since I say there are three different regions in Nepal, the hilly, Himalayan, and the Tarai region. So they have the different kind of dances according to their own cultural and the ethnic group. So we some of the popular dance are Deura Nach, Dhan Nach, Chandi Nach, which you can see on the picture on the top is a Chandi Nach. We also have Mayur Nach. Mayur Nach is like a peacock dance in a group. We do it that. And then we have Lakhe Nach. Some of the there are different kind of dances too, like folk dances, charya dances. So you can see like there are so many dance forms that even as an Nepalese people, it's like it takes several years to explore those. So Nepal is really a home to explore if you are really into cultural things. And we have Nepalese dress. So Nepalese dress is a symbol of art and culture of our country. So there are, as I said, there are so many Nepalese dress. We used to have our national Nepalese dress before, but now it's said that we want to give equal opportunity to the different ethnicities. So there is nothing called like a specific cultural natural national dress. So we have all the dress of all the ethnicity are our national dress now, which is mentioned in our like the recent constitution. And so you can see we have the Sherpa clothes on the picture. Sherpa peoples are the people who stay on the mountain region. So we know Sherpa people are really popular in the world. Sherpa means they are the trainer for your climbing mountains. So we also have recently a group of Sherpa people who climbed the Mount K2, which was a dangerous mountain to climb, and they had a group from Nepal, the Sherpa group. They climbed it for the first time, so that was an achievement. They are really known for their mountain training. And we also have Dongra Surwal for male, well as Gunyo Cholo for female member. On a daily basis, the female wears sari. Most of the women in the Nepal wear sari, and on the male wear like Dongra Surwal as their dress. So we have also different kind of dress. As I said, Haku Patasi is wear by the Nevars community, Bakri is wear by the Sherpa communities, and many more. And one of the main attraction of Nepal is the Light of Asia, which is Lord Buddha. We can see the Lumbini is the birthplace of Lord Buddha, which is in Nepal, and it's now it is one of the pilgrimage center recently present right now. Now it is one of the holy region where people come from all around the world, since there are a lot of the followers for Buddhists. And the interesting fact is there are so many religion in Nepal, like Hindu, Buddhist, Muslim, Sikh. There are so many people, but no matter of their religion, there is a day called Buddha Jayanti where all the people, despite of their religion, celebrate the Buddha Jayanti and worship and remember the Lord Buddha, because Lord Buddha is known as the enlightenment of giving a peace to the country. So Buddha is really worshipped and is the worshipped all over the world, and Buddha is one of the light to the Asia because we can see a lot of spiritual thing coming from the Lord Buddha, which is giving peace to the many people right now in this world. So, like he also said, one of the quote I want to mention is, "A better 1,000 hollow words is a one word that brings peace." So he always encourages and focuses on how to be enlightened with the peace. And then you can see, as seen my slide, like Buddhists believe that finding the enlightenment or nirvana is the key to the cycle of rebirth. So they do not believe in the death. So they believe on the rebirth. So as we know, there are so many followers, like 535 million people all around the world celebrates. Even Thailand has like 90% of the people following Buddhism right there. So Lord Buddha is one of the worshipped god in Nepal, as well as for all the Buddhist religion. And so this is also one of the main attraction. You can come to Nepal and visit the place where he was born. So, and the major festival in Nepal are Dasai Tihar, Buddha Jayanti, Mahapuja. There are so many festivals in Nepal. There is no not like specific one. So we have like a lot of national holidays too in our country. So yeah, there are so many other festivals in country. So is there any question right now? Thank you. Thank you. If is there any question you want to ask about Nepal? Yes, we haven't been to like the study abroad for Nepal, but we really since I'm the member of Nepali Student Association at Nepal, I'm at UTA, so we really want to be the member of study abroad, and because it might give opportunity to the many students to know culture about our country as well. So we are really open.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Ahana. So I have kind of a silly question for you as well, the same that I did for Oswald, but it's a different one. Although as an aside, I didn't realize, we didn't plan it this way, but there are a lot of similarities between sort of Nepal and Austria, with sort of the emphasis on like with the mountains and the outdoors and all of that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a great parallel. Anyway, but so my question for you is, so again, as a proud Nepalese student, when you when you get to go home and visit your family, like what is if you were bringing a friend with you, what is something that you would take them to see or do to really kind of show off your your home country?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Okay, so if I have an opportunity to bring one of the friends from here to Nepal, first of all, I'll take her or him to have the momos, as I showed. So this is like, even like all of the Nepalese people, they go and eat that momos. And then we have, as I said, the World Heritage Sited. So there is a Patan Darbar Square, which is built like many years ago. So I'll take her to that area, Patan Darbar Square, and I'll show her about all the cultures we have. So she'll be really happy. And then I can take her or him to the trekking. Like we have adventurous trekking. You don't have you don't go by the bus, train, or plane. You just have to go by walking. So we have interesting trekking over there. So I'll do that.
Cool. Can I be your friend that you take
Sure.
around?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I didn't know about the video, so I have.
I think we just lost your audio there, Ahana. There we go.
Yeah, I want to share a video, but I don't know how to connect the YouTube to this. Sorry.
Yeah. If you have the link for it, you can put that in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share.
We can share it that way. Does anyone else have any questions for Ahana about Nepal? Brenda, you have a question? Go ahead.
Yes, I do. How is the average tuition to study abroad in Nepal? I mean,
okay.
Nepal.
Okay, so
Nepal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we are like, I am not sure about exact amount, like how much is this, but it's not that expensive to that, like from here. So it's half of the price wherever country you go, like maybe
Mm.
2000.
Oh, you cut out again, Ahana.
So
There you
it's
go.
around like $2,000 around. So I'm not sure about the exact.
Mhm.
Now, Brenda, as Ahana mentioned, we don't currently have study abroad
The study
programs
abroad.
that go to Nepal.
Oh.
But Ahana, you're talking about the general cost of going to university in Nepal?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right, right. Yeah.
Oh. Oh well. Well,
But
yeah.
we are open for study abroad now.
Mm. Cool.
Thank you.
Ahana, you mentioned the food that every Nepalese person eats every day, right? Dabalat. But when you go home, same
Mhm.
kind of same question as what Kelly asked. When you go home, is there something really special that you want your mom or someone in your family to make for you when you go home?
Oh yes, I have the sil roti. I really love that. I have yamari. I really like homemade momos, and I still like dal bhat. And the spice the like the vegetable they cook over there. They have different kind of spices, so I miss that here. So I really love that.
Nice. Do you put together a whole list, a menu that you send to your family?
Yeah, yeah. They knows what I like, so they are usually like I ate a lot when I went back to Nepal 2019.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
So I did get the link of YouTube video if we can play.